Okay, I'm having a conversation here with Brian Meader, a nutritionist, but more than nutritionist, if you see what I mean. Uh, I'm big into nutrition, and all of those that know me know I've got vitamins everywhere. I had an assistant once, and she said, "You take a lot of," and I went, "They're everywhere," because it has made such a huge difference to me, a huge difference to my health. So, Brian, welcome, and I wanted to talk to you because somebody meant your name came up to do with the weight loss jabs, and you have an alternative. And I was just saying to Brian, I got people around me that having these jabs, they're being ill, they're making them ill, but I'm seeing their muscle tone go. And I'm also seeing a few people using them as a get out of jail card. I can eat all this crap because look how thin I am. And I just think there's got to be a better way. So Brian, what's your thoughts on jabs and alternatives?
Yeah, look, I mean, I suppose there's a market for it, right? I did a talk 2 weeks ago in London, actually. And leading up to that, I did a bit of research. And in the UK alone, there's right now 64% of adults obese or overweight. And
Yeah.
500,000 adults are on some sort of weight loss drug. So it shows there is a market for it. And I would say there's a need for it. But I would also say there is probably like healthier ways of achieving what people are trying to achieve with the injections. Now, I also, having done a lot of research into the injections, I would say there is an amount of people that benefit from it, just to say that upfront. And for some people, it might be the only thing that they can do because they can't get their mindset in the right place, or they can't make the changes in their lifestyle, or they're just they're just stuck. So it's a way to maybe kickstart a process. But if you don't change anything then else alongside, you're gonna fall back to where you were before. And I think the problem, well, not I think the main problem, and what you just mentioned earlier also with the injections, is people lose muscle. And what happens when you lose is muscle is what drives your metabolism. So let's just say you stop with the injections. Now we have less muscle than you had before, which means you're going to burn less calories than you did before, which means the same food you eat is now going to make you gain more weight quicker. And that's what we see. That's the whole, like that's what we see with these injections. So there is healthier alternatives. And of course, it's movement, it's your nutrition, it is your lifestyle, it is your mindset also. But for some people, like we said, that might not be the easiest way to start straight away, and that's why I'm super excited to share something that we're bringing now to the UK and to Europe, which is a natural alternative to GLP-1. Well, not an alternative, it's a natural activator because your body makes GLP-1. And the problem is, as we get older, number one, the body's own production slows down just naturally. But then also because of the foods we eat, because of the lifestyle, our guts are kind of like not as healthy as they should be because the gut is where our GLP-1 is being produced. And so what we're doing is we're naturally activating the production of GLP-1 in the gut through scientifically backed formulations that are shown to increase GLP-1 production, that are shown to reduce cravings, that are shown to help people lose weight up on average 9 pounds in 8 weeks and up to 25 pounds in 12 weeks. So we have all of that done, but it's really to understand that your body can do it if you give it the right tools. And there's something that we have now coming, which is very powerful.
This is amazing. The other th I mean, I could ask you a million questions here. The other thing is, I've had few conversations, don't want to digress too much, but I've had a few conversations about what you've just said. As you get older, you slow down. I haven't, and I'm an old girl now, but I haven't actually, but it bothers me, the thought. uh, my friend Louise Baker, the neuroscientist, said that she remembers that elderly people and they'd go and have a shower and that's their energy for that morning. And that's why they sit in chairs with blankets over them all day. And I thought, bloody hell, I sat the other night a couple of times lately with a blanket over me. Uh, is there a way of counteracting that? Because I don't want that. I don't want to slow down. Why do our bodies slow down? Do they have to slow down?
Well, I suppose nature decided that every mammal, which includes us, any animal on this planet, has one job. It's grow, develop, reproduce, and die. That's nature,
Mm,
right?
mm,
And so for us, our peak would be in our 20s. That is just the way it is, but it doesn't mean we're dying under 40. There's still a lot we can do all the way up to 80, 90, 100. But at 100, there's no way someone can run a marathon like this when they were 20. So that we just have to acknowledge that. That's just the biochemistry. And there might be, if we speak in 50 years, there might be developments where this doesn't matter anymore, right? So
mm,
those things out there. But looking at why do people age quicker than others, that's what I'm more interested in because I don't think we can stop it.
mm.
We can just make sure that as someone turns 60, 70, 80 and older, that they're in the best shape possible. And there's a lot we can do, of course, through our mindset. Do we believe, like, do I think that when I get 80, when I turn 80, that I can't do as much anymore? Or can I work around that differently? What's my nutrition like? Do I drink enough water? But then also, I guess it's all about really also activating the body. So that's something which drew me to this GLP-1 activator is something called the NRF2 pathway. And that's phenomenal because NRF2 is a regulator that we have in all our cells. And maybe to go back to your question initially, can we stop it or can we slow it down or can we change it? That pathway, that little molecule inside of your cells, every cell in your body, slows down as we get older. And what this does is it basically makes your body do less of repair on it, like in the cells.
Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so because nature decided, well, 2025, you've been at your peak, right? So this is going to slow down naturally. So now if you eat crap, it's going to slow down even quicker. If you don't drink enough water, it's going to slow down quicker. If you eat loads of sugar and drink alcohol, it's going to slow down even quicker. So it's just about making it slow down less quickly. And if I can give you an example, so I'm now 43. When I started hearing about this, I was 36, so it was almost 8 years ago. And at the time, I thought, well, I'm still, not old, but I wouldn't be able to train like when I was 20. So like there was a little, you could feel that, the little bit difference. And when I started activating this NRF2 in my cells through this amazing herbal product, it increased basically my antioxidants. It reduced my oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. And so I noticed the benefits of having more energy, of sleeping better again, having faster recovery from exercise. I could see it in my skin, I could see it in my hair, and just feel it in the body as a whole. So there is things we can do to slow down things that happen naturally. It's just on us to decide how quick do we want to age or how do we want to be when we're 80. So there's things we can do. And I believe by activating the body's own production of things is a huge, huge benefit in order to keep the body protected from things that are happening. Because again, when you look at the illnesses or the diagnoses that people get when they're older, 50, 60, 70, arthritis or Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, or they're just signs of aging. They're
Mm,
not they're not like they're all very much the same. Yes, they're different in different areas of the body, but when you really break it down, what's happening means there are cells in that area that couldn't repair themselves anymore. Now they're damaged. They don't function well anymore. Now something develops in that area. That's all it is. If it's in your joints, it's arthritis. If it's in your brain, it's Alzheimer's or Parkinson's.
mm.
If it's in your bones, it might be osteoporosis. If it's in your heart, it might be heart disease. So all of it comes down to your body not being able to repair itself as well as it did when you were younger. And you can really like do things about that in like lots of different ways.
At the end, I'm going to ask you for some resources and perhaps some links that I can pass on. But so, what made you interested in nutrition? What drew? I know for me, it was when I was young, and we didn't really talk about nutrition back then. You just ate mince on Monday, sausages on Tuesday. You just had what you had back then. Apple a day kept the doctor away. Didn't know people didn't take vitamins and stuff when I was a kid. But I was bruising a lot, and somebody told me to take vitamin C with biflavonoids. I managed to track them down, took them, and I stopped bruising, and that opened me up. Then somebody mentioned Adele Davis. She'd written a book, and it was like absolutely mind blowing. This book, she told you things that made so much sense. And look, if you've got bad period pains, you're low in calcium, and so if you got this, then you need that, and it was working. So, what was your journey? What drew you?
Yeah, my journey was probably like a little bit similar to yours. When I was 29, which is 14, almost 15 years ago, I was diagnosed with I had a chronically inflamed Achilles tendon, and I was diagnosed with arthritis in my shoulders. And I just didn't buy into that. And I got introduced to nutrition in a sense and started reading into it and started reading about alkaline diets and alkaline foods and acidic foods and just changing my diet a little bit. All those symptoms disappeared. And that just blew me away that no doctor would tell me about this,
Mm.
which made me then turn towards studying nutrition. So I became a nutritional therapist. I studied naturopathy, and I've been interested in this like ever since, and sharing with people that they don't have to accept their diagnosis, that they don't have to accept that they're feeling the way they feel because whatever they've been doing previously led to the way they are now. So it just means change what you've been doing and you will feel differently. And for some people, it might be just a change of diet. For some people, it might be supplements. For some people, it might be taking additional activators like I work with. For some people, it might be like looking after the stress. So it's different for everyone, but do something in order to move towards a new future, I suppose.
I find that really interesting. You really rung a big bell because I was under hospital for thyroid, bit of a family thing, and I had like a little nodule on my thyroid, and all I kept wanting to do is cut out a big chunk. Then you're on medication forever, and I watch people on the medication, and their brain slows down. They put on more and more weight. The dosage gets higher. So I just well, I'm not doing that. I went off and read up on it, and there was a girl. Well, there's a number of people online that said we took selenium and the nodule vanished. And one girl had 28 nodules on her thyroid. She took selenium, they all went. She stopped taking it, they all came back. So I said this to the surgeon. She went, "Oh, I've heard that research." And I went, "So why aren't you telling me to take selenium? Why are you telling me cut?" Because I know everybody I know it's had a chunk cut out. And it's just too drastic. And she just went quiet. She just went quiet, just didn't answer me. So
Yeah.
doctors will only tell you what they've got in front of them, what they can offer. And I just thought, so I stopped going. I stopped going. And years ago, they said to me, "You'll be really ill." And I'm not. I am actually really healthy. So I really relate to your story. So what resources have you got? Have you got a YouTube channel? Have you got any special offers? You got any products? What can we pass on? Because I think it's a huge subject to me, and I think it is to many people.
Yes. Well, like the best way would be for people to connect with me on Facebook. That's where I'm most active.
Hmm.
I currently am not taking any clients one-to-one because I'm fully focused on launching GLP-1 activation into Europe. That's my main focus right now. But even the other thing that I mentioned in regards to that initial breakthrough in activating your antioxidants, activating the NRF2 pathway, what I'll do is I'll send you a short video on that because I think people have to understand that and see that what that really means, what that is, because even before I heard about this 8 years ago, I thought I knew vitamins, I knew minerals, I knew herbs. What I never understood what NRF2 does in our body. And looking at what the research shows, there's 30,000 studies on NRF2, on this molecule in our cells, linked to all sorts of illnesses. There's medication that's aiming to activate NRF2, and we're doing this naturally. So I'll send you a video on that. You can share that. I can send you a link to the website where people, if they're interested to purchase this. But I always like to say, like, reach out to me because it always depends on what the person is looking to get or to aim. I can advise on that.
Mm.
But NRF2 by itself is phenomenal because it really activates, it does such a magic to people. And other link from there, leading forward, I think they're the main links. Connect with me because then I like to give like one-to-one guidance to like what are you interested, what are you looking for, what kind of issues do you have? Because then I can be more specific in regards to how can this help that person's specific issue. But there's a general link that I can send you, no problem. And other than that, connect with me on Facebook. Is there any offers? I don't have any offers because the price is not designed by me or not set by me. But it's a very fair price to get access to this in the UK. And the GLP-1 activator, which is coming in March, that's another thing. Obviously, reach out to me if people are interested in finding natural solutions, natural ways to help with their weight loss, because this is already changing the whole sphere. What I've seen the last couple of months since it's launched in the US has been phenomenal. People have lost 10, 20, 30 pounds.
Wow.
Um, Not muscle, no muscle at all, just fat. People are building muscle now also because their body is able to do that rather than losing it. So it is phenomenal to see what the body can do when it's given the right tools.
That's brilliant. I love that. And I really would love to see people looking into this rather than having and I understand people just want a magic. I've always said people want a magic button on their arm and press it and they're going to lose weight. We all want the magic solution. And when people go, yeah, we go to the gym, don't eat crisps. The crisps are my weakness. Don't eat that, eat your salad. I can see why people get fed up, but sometimes there's nutrition that you can work with that'll make a big difference. So I'm definitely going to look into this more. I tracked Brian down by the way, folks, because I heard about his work and I thought this is interesting. So thank you so much for your time. This has been phenomenal, and I'm definitely going to be hassling you. I'm going to be I'm going to be contacting you, see what I need. But thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thanks for having me.